YouTube, what's going on today, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a little hiatus since I posted this channel, and I thought what better way to get back into it than to do a recap of my comp this weekend. If you guys follow me on Instagram, follow Iron Vault on Instagram, you guys would have seen that this past Saturday, May 4th, 2024, I competed in my first half marathon, my first half trail marathon at the 2024 Bear Mountain Trail Challenge. The Bear Mountain Trail Challenge was a 10K half marathon or full marathon trail challenge. So if you guys aren't familiar with marathon running or trail running in general, the Bear Mountain Challenge was 1,300 feet plus of elevation climb. I chose to compete in the half marathon, and it was one of the most competitive and hardest competitions I've ever done in my entire life. And I say that with the utmost respect to everybody that I know, everybody in my circle, everybody on my team, everybody that I affiliate with, and in general, everybody that I know. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life, competitively. And I say this with so much respect. There are very few people that I know that could do that at that level. It's a testament to the sport. It's not taking away from everybody that I know. It's not taking away from myself, my abilities. It truly is one of the hardest things I think anybody could do, is run a trail half or full marathon. I applaud everybody that competes in that sport, and I am very hungry, very, very, very hungry to be the best at it, no matter what I do. So before we get into the challenge, a couple of things that I want to talk about. In 2023, I competed in the tactical games in Dalton, New Hampshire, and I had registered for the tactical games because I found myself in a little bit of a rut where I was going in and out of the gym. I really didn't have purpose behind my training other than, being in the best shape I possibly could for my children, obviously being in the best possible shape I could be for myself. I failed to find purpose in the gym, and I think that's very dangerous. It's a very dangerous place to feel like you are repeatedly working towards something that you don't know what it is or what your goal is. So in 2023, I registered for the tactical games, and I still compete in tactical games. It's just this season I decided to take the season off due to, planning with the businesses and things going on with life. So it took a little bit of time, especially because it's a really hard sport with, gun laws and stuff like that. So working around those is kind of difficult. So in 2023, I registered for the tactical games, and I found myself at a point during that competition where I felt like I was going to fail. During a workout, I was executing a workout, shooting, going through the process, and there was a wheelbarrow workout where I had 300 pounds loaded on the wheelbarrow, and I think we were traveling at 90 yards. Halfway through the 90 yards, I dropped the wheelbarrow, and our spotter looked at me, and he said, "Pick up the wheelbarrow." I looked at him, I said, I just need to catch my breath. I'm going to pick it up. He looks at me square in the eyes, and I remember his face. I really wish I got his name. He looked at me square in the eyes and said, "Breathe when you're done." And in that moment, all of my life, my training, my business life, my career, my lacrosse career, my family life, everything that I had ever been taught, ever, of leave no doubt, had come to fruition to one phrase: breathe when you're done. I looked at him and I said, "You have no idea the repercussion that you just had on my life, my brain, everything had just clicked in that moment." And it felt like I had found something inside of me that I had been looking for. I couldn't put my finger on what I was searching for, how to cultivate my entire life and mindset into one phrase. Leave no doubt has always been burnt into my brain. Everything you do in life, leave no doubt. Whether that's cutting the grass, brushing your teeth, tying your shoes, going for a PR, going for a run, leave no doubt in everything you do. Do everything at 100 miles per hour. Do not half-ass anything. I've done that. I've practiced that my entire life, my playing career, my business life, my life. Leave no doubt. Breathe when you're done. So fast forward 1 year later, May 4th, 2024, last Saturday, I competed in my first ever half marathon, which was a trail marathon. And let me tell you guys something. That truly was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. I think that there are 3 attributes that the 1% of the world need to have, and they have: commitment, attitude, and delusion. Those are the 3 attributes that the top 1% in the world have. You have to be committed to doing something. When you start it, you finish. Leave no doubt. Breathe when you're done. You have to have commitment. 100%. Attitude. Your attitude is a reflection of commitment, of your commitment. If you have a shitty attitude, you will never get anywhere in life. It's very true. No matter what you're doing, positivity, great attitude. You know, I think that that could be spun either way, but I think commitment and attitude. And the final one is delusion. The top 1% of the people in the world, to have and reach certain goals in this world, you have to have a little delusion mixed in. You can't go into anything not reaching for the stars, not leaving no doubt. That is, without a doubt, I think one of my biggest attributes that a lot of people, they see it and they laugh. And I say that they laugh because I am a little delusional. I think every day I wake up and I say to myself, what can I do today to be better than yesterday? What can I do that somebody is going to walk in the room and say, that dude is crazy to think that he could do that? And that was what I went into when I picked this Bear Mountain Trail Challenge. Half marathon, 1,300 feet of elevation. I 100% applaud all of those men and women, all of those athletes that compete in trail running as a sport. I think if you are familiar with trail running, you know there is a substantial difference between running on a trail with 1,300 feet of elevation versus running a regular marathon. And I want to dive into that a little bit right now. So a little bit over 30 days ago, my friend Kevin Lee and I were sitting here, and we were talking about one of his friends who, you know, one day woke up and he said, I'm going to run from East Chester to Kensico Dam. And if you guys aren't familiar with the distance of that, it's about 10 miles there and back. And he described that guy as being psychotic, crazy. And as he's telling the story, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I would do that. If I could do that, I would definitely do that. And the longer he talked about this guy and this story, the more I said to myself, I am also crazy. I am also psychotic. And I would also 100% do that. So we wrapped up our podcast. We were filming a podcast. And we headed over to get dinner. There were me, Nando, and Kevin. And we're all sitting there, and guys are ordering beers and food. And I'm drinking water. And Kevin looks at me, and he's like, you're not getting a beer. And I said, no, I'm running to Kensico Dam tomorrow. And he laughed. And I said it and I meant it. I meant every word. I said, I'm running to Kensico Dam tomorrow. So the following day, it was Saturday, I went to the gym. I did my accessory day that we use for the complete program. That's what I had scheduled that day. So it worked out. I did my accessory day. Kevin came to the gym, and I don't think he thought I was actually serious that I was going to run, because I looked at him. I said, I did my accessories. I got a bottle of water. I said, I'm going to run to the dam back. And I did. I ran 9 unbroken miles. That was the most mileage I've ever put on my legs, ever, unbroken in one day. 9 miles. I ran 9 miles, took a break, 15, 20-minute break, ran 1 more mile, and I put 10 miles. 10 miles. And I said to myself, wow, never in my life could I think I've ever ran 10 miles, ever. And something just clicked. It just clicked. I went home. I became obsessed. I committed myself to getting better at running. And I committed myself to finding something that would push me and something I compete in and feel that itch and that drive to be better, something to work towards. 30 days, so a little bit over 30 days. So I would say 40 days out from May 4th, I was looking around, looking for something to compete in. I said, I need something. I need something to work towards. And asking around, people were like, oh, run a marathon, run a half marathon, run a 10K, run a 5K. Oh, my mom just ran a 10. My mom just ran a marathon. My cousin and her friend just ran the Boston Marathon. And I think that is what pushed me to trail running, was hearing the constant belief from others that I could do something that everybody else could do. And, you know, obviously when you hear those things, you're like, oh, like, Bethany ran the half marathon. Like, you could do that. And, you know, for normal people, that's motivational. Like, oh, you could do it. I could do it. For me, I don't want to do things that other people in the room can do. I want a challenge. I want something where I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk in that room, not egotistically. I walk in the room and you go, dude, you just ran a half fucking marathon, 1,300 feet of elevation. Like, that's what separates us, is doing things that other people will fail to do or won't even attempt to do. That's what drives me every day, is that I push myself to be the best version of myself that I can be so that nobody else could be like me. And that's not being egotistical. That's being confident. That's being committed. That's having a positive attitude. And that's having delusion. You have to have delusion in this formula. For this formula to work, to be at this level, you have to have delusion. I never in my life would think that I could run a 1,300-foot elevation trail half marathon. Ever. If you asked me that a year ago, I would have laughed. Kaylee and I were just joking the other day. She said to me, when you graduated college, you laughed and said you would never run like that ever again. You paid your dues. And I meant that. In 2018, I meant that. I said I will never run like that ever again. I used to laugh at my teammates. I used to laugh at people I followed on Instagram that would post, like, after college, graduating, they're running a marathon and they're trying to stay relevantly or in shape. I used to laugh. And now I'm that guy, going to Feet Fleet, picking out shoes, obsessing over fuel strategies, obsessing over podcasts talking about how to have good pace and looking for the best trail. I've become obsessed. That's the level of commitment that I have. That's the level of delusion that I have. You have to have that to be successful. I sound like a broken record, but it's true. That's what that is how I've become who I am today, by having delusion, having that level of commitment, and having a positive attitude in everything I do. And, you know, like I said, those are the successful things that have helped me. That's what's helped me. You know, there are a lot more people in this world that are way more successful than me, that have way better values and how they've gotten to that, or better pathways, however they've gotten to where they are today. But for me, that's what's gotten me to where I am today. And that's what's going to push me to be better. You know, at mile 10 during my half marathon, I'm at a 12-minute pace. And there are guys that are fucking ripping past me. I looked at every single person that I was running behind, and I said, I'm going to fucking catch that person. I'm going to catch that person. I started that run in the top 10. I looked at every person that was standing in front of that starting line, and I said, I'm going to fucking stay right on that guy's heels. Whether I could stay with him or not, I fucking found him. During that run, I made sure I tried to stay with him as best as I could. I did not want to waver from that strategy. You know what? Halfway through that run, I found myself locked up. My fucking quads were locked up. I'm at mile 9, standing there fucking shaking. I have no water left. But I fucking started that race. I said, I'm going to finish this race. And that's what I did. And I'm fucking proud I did that. And now that I've done one of those, let me tell you something. That bug bit me. I am going to fucking work my ass off to be competitive, to be remembered in that sport, to do something in that sport that people are like, holy fuck, that dude just ran that. That dude just did that. And that's not being egotistical. That's just who I am as a person. My friends always joke that I go in phases. I work in phases. I have this phase. I have that phase. I have this phase. They're not phases. There are things that I do that I become obsessed with. I have an obsessive, I'm very passionate about things. When I start something, I leave no doubt. I finish it. I do it 100 miles per hour. There is no second chances. There is no 50 miles per hour. I am 100 miles per hour. I'm going to do it. And that's what I did this weekend, Saturday, May 4th, 2024 Bear Mountain Trail Challenge. One of the best things I've ever done in my life. I will be back. I'm actually lining up a few more races. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but if you guys enjoyed this video, you enjoyed my talk, we're going to cut this video up and post it on Instagram. So if you guys enjoyed the video, enjoy this content, make sure you guys subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Breathe when you're done.